Yo, 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 YouTube, what is going on, man? I am just down here, man, testing out some new equipment, testing out some new stuff, man. Just trying to get angles right and just learn something new at the end of the day, man. So the app that I use, the Mevo app, which my cameras are, that's the brand of the camera. And in order to do the stream, you need Wi-Fi and you need to be on the Mevo app. So when you subscribe to the app, I think I did a year subscription. You get certain features to go with the app, and one of those features is that you can actually film with other devices other than the cameras. So I have a couple iPads, so I'm actually doing this. I'm doing this stream or this recording with the iPads. So I just wanted to test them out. Try something new, see how it looks compared to the cameras. I like the cameras, but my iPads are like super clear. So I just wanted to know if you get the same results using the iPads through the app. So yeah, man, just down here getting up reps, man. Just trying to stay sharp and just grow my bag in terms of just recording and producing for the show. So yeah, man, down here working. So in terms of our day today, it was smooth. It was good to be home. We didn't do too much. I had a few haircuts. Went to the gym. I was actually supposed to do this pod at the gym, but the gym was people in the gym. It wasn't really that quiet. I wasn't able to have a court to myself. So, I kind of had to just scrap it and just come home and do the pod at home. So I'm not mad at it. It gave me a chance to test my new stuff. So it is what it is. But man, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. My youngest daughter, who's 1, she's teething right now. And when I say, bruh, like, it's a lot right now. And just like the personality of my youngest daughter, like that's our wild child. So she gets into everything. When I mean everything, like I'm not exaggerating, everything. She almost swallowed a toy today. She fell off a chair. It was just a lot, man. A lot. We love her to death, but man, it's a lot. But it was cool to be able to hang out with the wife and my 2 girls, man, and just relax. I bought a new projector, movie projector. So we got that going in the living room. And when I tell you, I'm never going back to TV in terms of that being the main device I use to watch, watch stuff. The movie projector, if you got the space, if you got the wall space to do it, do it. I invested in a good one. We had movie nights. I was able to watch some of the games, and it was A1, man. I felt like I was at a movie theater. So that was cool. But in terms of just the pod, the stuff I wanted to talk about, I haven't done one of these pods solo because I always just been busy with doing the interviews. But I don't like to do solo pods unless I have something to talk about. And today I do have stuff to talk about. And if y'all catch me looking away, I got the Knicks and the Boston Celtics game on, and Celtics doing their thing right now. So don't mind me looking at the screen. But yeah, man, the first thing I wanted to talk about is just some of the trades that's been going on in the NBA. Currently, the trade deadline is it's either here or it's approaching, and you got all these NBA teams just trying to get better and just moving pieces around. And I'll speak on 2 trades because I don't want to spend that much time just talking basketball. But so the Lakers, which actually big news happened today, the Lakers traded Dalton Knecht, Cam Reddish, and a pick to get center Mark Williams from the Charlotte Hornets. And what's crazy, so today the trade got rescinded because Mark Williams didn't pass his physical. So it's probably injuries, and he probably just had stuff wrong with him that Charlotte was not trying to disclose. But even besides that, like, I wasn't high on the Lakers getting rid of Dalton Connect because he's a young player who showed promise. He's ready for the moment, and he's a shooter. And like when you got a player like LeBron, and now they got Luka, we'll talk on Luka. You want to have as many shooters as possible, just because those guys, the way their games are set. You don't want to have the paint clogged. You don't want to have defenders being in the gap and being able to overhelp because there are no threats. So the fact that y'all got rid of y'all best young piece was crazy to me. And in terms of like, getting the big, Lakers need a big. I get it, but it just something just didn't like. You don't get rid of a player who's just a gamer. Like in my opinion, he could put the ball in the hoop. He don't seem like he be rattled. Like, and he seemed like he a good dude. Like that's somebody I want to build on. And but I guess he coming back now. It's gonna be some rough conversations. Like, hey man, we didn't want to do it, but it was just business. Like, yeah, okay. If I'm Dalton Connect, I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at them side-eyed. But at the end of the day, I think bruh be a professional. You know what I'm saying? He'll understand what it was, and he'll just keep the train rolling. Because he's been having a good rookie season thus far. So I hope he can, bounce back from that and just keep doing his thing. And then the second trade the Lakers did, of course, that we all know about is Luka and AD basically swapped. And I think Max Christie went to Dallas, and Max, what's his last name? Kleber? Max Kleber is going to the Lakers. So I think it's a win for both teams. Unfortunately, another thing that happened today is AD got hurt his very first game, so that's crazy. But I think he'll bounce back and, heal up and be able to come back and be ready definitely for playoffs. But I think if I had to give an opinion on why the Mavericks did that, I just think they in a win now mode. And they got a good lead guard in Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? They got Clay, so that backcourt is pretty nasty. I don't know who their three is, who their three will be. Don't know that. But then they got some good bigs. You know what I'm saying? AD will be that 4, and then Gafford or Derek Lively will be the 5. That's a tough lineup. Then PJ Washington will probably be the 3. So that's a solid lineup that I think can, get that 3-4 seed in the West. So I think the Mavericks are just in win now mode. But in terms of the Lakers, like they definitely in win now mode too, and they looked sharp today. And shout out to Austin Reeves, my man got 45. But I think the Lakers are also looking forward towards the future because LeBron 40, he playing at a high level, but like how much longer does LeBron have? Let's be real, we don't know. So I think they're trying to win now, but they're also trying to have some insurance for the future. And Luka is 25. And just having Luka to be able to observe LeBron and LeBron habits and how he goes about being professional, I think is going to do tremendous wonders for Luka just in terms of the way he takes care of himself and his body. Like if Luka could like trim up, tone up a little bit, he don't got to get like LeBron and just be like, diesel. But just lose some weight, take a look better care of himself. Like who knows what Luka be. Luka already a monster. So, he does that to himself, eats better, takes care of his body better. Like who knows what Luka could turn into. So I think, I would say it's a win-win in that situation. I know the Lakers is sad to see AD go. I definitely know Dallas is sad to see Luka go. But at the end of the day, it's a business, and it is what it is. But like I said, I'm just curious to see how the Lakers had that conversation with Dalton Connect when he comes back. So we'll see how that plays. And shout out to Dalton Connect, man. I wanted the Bucks to get him. But the other trade is, speaking of the Bucks, got my Bucks shirt on. The Bucks traded Chris Middleton to the Washington Wizards for Kyle Kuzma. And there was some other like players thrown in there, like A.J. Johnson, rookie, he was thrown in there to go to the Wizards. And I don't know who else we got back. Maybe some picks, I don't know. But we got Kyle Kuzma. And I'm going to say this. I love Kyle Kuzma's game. Like, hybrid 3-4 type player, could shoot, could score, athletic, can run the floor. I like his game. But in terms of trading him for Chris Middleton, who was a certified, three, and expecting Kuzma to fill that role, I don't know, bro. I don't know how that's gonna work out. Cause it's at times Chris Middleton, well, before Dame got there, Chris Middleton was our closer. You could give Chris Middleton the ball, he could make plays for himself, make plays for others. And to bring Kuzma in and think we gonna get the same production, he might give you the same points, but just in terms of impact, I don't know how that's gonna work out. I'm not saying Kuzma can't do some of the things Middleton did, but I feel like Middleton was a special player, and Middleton was playing better. Like he's been hurt, 2 surgeries on his ankles, but he was showing signs that he was coming back to form, and we trade that man. And then we trade him to the worst team in the league, which is even more crazy. But I don't know, man. I would have either liked us to pick up a guard, another guard, a shooting guard, or a center. And we did. We got Jericho Sims, like athletic, young center who could run the floor, live threat, work hard on defense. So we did get that. But I would have I think the first priority should have been to get a guard, get a good shooting guard, like somebody like Malik Monk, Klay Thompson type, Buddy Hield, just somebody like that. When Dame got to give up the ball to somebody else can make a play besides Giannis. So that's what I was looking forward to, to seeing, and I think that's our need. Because if you think about it, you look at the Bucks roster, who was the best guard on the Bucks outside of Dame? Like, when you think about it, it's like, damn, man, our guard play really ain't the best. And that's why Chris Middleton was so important, because Chris Middleton could go make a play, whether it was getting a bucket or setting a man up, another teammate up for a bucket. Like, he had a handle, and I don't know, he just had that type of game to keep stuff going. And like with Kuzma game, like he a scorer. So can we depend on Kuzma to make plays for others? And be, when we need a bucket, go get a bucket. Can we? I don't know. Just from seeing this game thus far, like, I don't know. So we'll see. Like I'm hoping for the best, man. I hope they figure it out and they mesh, and we can make a playoff run this year, man. Because I feel like injuries done plagued us the last couple playoffs, so it would be cool to have a healthy team and see how far we could go. But that's all. That's kind of all I want to say about the NBA, man. It ain't that deep for me. Like when the Lakers did that trade, I went on Facebook talking, little stuff, just jokingly. But then you see how serious some of these cats are about the NBA. It's like, man, it ain't that deep for me. Like I watch it when I can. I love the game of basketball, but bruh, if the Bucks win, that's cool. I still got to go to work. Still got to pay my bills. Still got to take care of my kids. Still got to, look after my wife and support her. If the Bucks lose, if the Bucks win, none of that is going to change. So it is what it is when it comes to that. But in terms of the NBA, another issue, Michael Jordan's son, Marcus Jordan. Like, I guess last weekend he got pulled over. Well, he really didn't get pulled over. He was stuck on the train tracks, and when the cops came and did an investigation, they found cocaine and saw that he was drunk. So he got charged with a DUI. And to be honest, he might even got charged with reckless driving. Because the fact that he was stuck on the tracks, and I guess a train was coming too. So that's crazy. But it just made me feel bad for bro. Like I know a lot of people will take that time to like make fun of him or troll him or just kind of, bash him. But that's not how I looked at it. I looked deeper at it and been like, man, bro needs some help. Like just looking at his behavior over the past couple years, him messing with certain females, just doing certain things, like bro just looked like he need help. And then when he got pulled over and the cop came to the car. He said, "Oh, I'm Michael Jordan's son, Marcus Jordan." And that just made me think, like, bro, do you even have an identity outside of that being, MJ's son? Like, who are you as a person? What do you stand for? What's your character? Like, and I think being in that position and just Michael Jordan being your dad, I think he probably never developed any personal identity outside of the game and just that being your pops. And I feel like when you don't have an identity, man, that's when you can start to spiral. Like in terms of basketball, like some people might say Marcus Jordan was trash, but like bro was far from it. Like yeah, he ain't play in the league, but like I actually played his team in high school. I think it was when he went to cause he started off at Loyola and then went finished at Whitney Young. We played Loyola. And they was straight. Like he was good. Like good big guard, about 6'3", like physical, could athletic. And he actually went D1. He played at Central Florida. Like out of all the players who play basketball in America, it's probably only maybe 5% go D1, probably less than that. So the fact that he got a D1 scholarship, went to school for free, and did okay there, man, that's something to hang your hat on and be proud of. Like I'm a good ball player. I didn't go D1. So does that mean I'm trash? Like, no. So he probably hears a lot of that and just feels like, oh man, like I gotta show out and I gotta, didn't have the career I wanted in terms of basketball, so I gotta do stuff to, to draw attention to myself and just act out. And like another thing that I thought of is like I guess he was caught. It was a girl in the car with him when he got pulled over or the cops approached him. Like this why I love my wife. If my wife saw that I was drunk and I had cocaine on me, like my wife gonna be like, we not getting in the car. We gonna take an Uber home or we gonna figure something out. I'm not letting you drive and you in this state. First off, if I did coke and my wife, let's say we was dating. If I did coke when I was dating my wife, we probably wouldn't be dating no more because my wife got a standard and she'd hold me to a standard. My wife wouldn't be cool with me doing certain stuff. She would check me on it and say you need to do better. And it just seemed like because he Marcus Jordan's son, certain women he dealing with from what it looking, the outside looking in, I ain't gonna say that to him. They probably don't even really care about him. They probably just with him just because of who he is, and who his pops is. So I would say to him, hopefully his family and people who really got love for him could put their arms around him and just check in with him and be like, bro, you all right? Or son, like, what's going on with you? Like, are you okay? This ain't the behavior you displaying. Like, this ain't a good sign. Like, what do you need? What do you need us to do? Like, do you need some help? Like, do you need to go to rehab? Like, that's what he need to get around. Not thoughts, not people who just trying to get clout. Yes, men. Yes, woman. He don't need none of that, man. And who knows? He might be suffering with addiction. He might be suffering from depression. Like, he need prayer at the end of the day. And I would never use that as an opportunity to bash him, make fun of him, because we all go through stuff. Like, bro is no different from the rest of us. We all done had episodes where we're going through stuff and we just need help. So hopefully, man, Marcus Jordan gets some help. Hopefully he get better, and hopefully he can realize that he need to surround himself with good people. You know what I'm saying? Or just take time to just learn yourself and figure out who you are as a person outside of the game. Outside of MJ being your dad. Like, who are you? What are your likes? What do you stand for? And that's with all of us, not just him. Because I know just on a deeper level or on a bigger level, like, when it's time for ball players to step away from the game, when the ball stop bouncing, that's a hard reality to accept, especially when basketball been your identity for the longest. Like, that's all you identified as is a basketball player. But it take, realizing that you an adult and you gotta live, you gotta eat, and it's gonna take somebody being mature enough to realize that and to just move on with their life. Like, it's more to life than basketball. Like basketball is a beautiful thing, beautiful sport. It helps you learn, it helps you grow, like it helps you develop. It did that for me. But when the ball stopped bouncing, I had to figure it out. And I just hope Marcus Jordan can figure it out, man. Get the help he need and just do better. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, I don't know if he has a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, but he can come to know God and just just be better at the end of the day, man. So I'll just get well, bro. But the last topic, man. Last topic, it is Black History Month. And always the older I got, during this month, I reflect and I'm proud to see how far we have come in society today just based off of what our past was. But I definitely don't think the journey is over. And I think we still have, strides to make in this country just being, black people. But in school, man, during Black History Month, you hear the same couple names, man. Martin, Malcolm, Rosa, Harriet. Shout out to all of them for the contributions they made to the movement. But it's so much more to our history than just that. And the older I get and the more kind of research I do on some of these people's lives, you realize stuff and you learn stuff that really wasn't taught to you in school. And I'm not saying you look down on those people, but your perspective on them kind of changes. And like back in the day in school, you looked at those people like they were bigger than life. But now as you get older, you realize, man, they was just people. They was people like you and me. At the end of the day, they had their struggles. All of them had past. They was normal people, but just wanted to make change. But I think the one thing I want to focus on for Black History Month, just for me, is just a certain mindset. A mindset of just wanting to achieve freedom in life. I feel like with my life, of course, I want to, be a vessel for God, spread the gospel when I can, live a life that, that gives glory to God, all of that, for sure. But if somebody came up to me and asked me like, hey, Mark, what's something you want out of life? And I would just say freedom. Like, I want the freedom to be able to get up and plan my day. Like, I want the freedom to if I want to work today, I'm going to work today. If I don't, I'm not working today. Like, I want that freedom in life. Like, I want the freedom to be able to go pick up my daughter, go drop my daughter off. Like, I want the freedom in life to be able to tell my wife, like, baby, like, you don't got to work no more. Like, if you want to work, cool, but you don't have to work anymore. Like, I'm financially set for the both of us to where you don't have to work anymore. Like, so if you want to go to brunch today, we could go. Like, I want to get to that point. Don't get me wrong, and I pray about this every day. If God has it in my cards for me to get up at 4:20 a.m. Monday through Friday, go to Performance Food Group, work hard, drive my truck, do my deliveries 5 days a week and go home. If that's God's plan for my life, cool. I'm embracing that. I'm not complaining about that, and I'm being thankful for that because that's a blessing. Like, working like that allows me to feed my family, pay my bills, and just, live a certain way. But just me personally, like, I have a dream and it start with this podcast, to one day get to a point where somebody sees the potential in me and invests an opportunity in me in terms of sports media, whether it be radio, being on another podcast or something. Like, I want to be able to create an opportunity for myself that's not trucking. And I want to be able to transition out of trucking and just this podcast in general. Like, I want to be able to get to the point where the podcast is big enough to financially take care of me where I don't have to do anything else. I can do this pod full time and I'm financially straight and I can reach financial freedom. Like that's a goal I have. Like that's a dream I have when it come to this. And like I'm not limiting myself. I feel like the mindset of blacks, I want to say back 60s, 70s, is we limited ourselves. We felt like government had to give us this, give us that. We couldn't do for self. Now, what's crazy, the irony is when we first got out of slavery, and years after slavery, black people had a do for self mentality, and community mattered, and coming together mattered. But I feel like, I don't know, over time we kind of, as a group, not everybody, but just overall as a group, we kind of lost that mentality. And just me just reading up on certain stories like Wilmington, North Carolina, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and just seeing examples that those people set, and just having that mindset of just trying to build and create. Like I have that mindset now, and that's something I want to adopt, and I'm trying to go hard with every day. That's why I dedicate so much time to this pod. I'm constantly thinking of new ways to grow the pod. I'm constantly thinking of new ways how I can do the show, which could add different flavor just with the iPads. Like normally I have 3 cameras in my setup, but I'm using the iPads today to see if that could be, could work and make the pod better. Like if this is something I really want to do, I feel like I can give back something positive to the world and to my city. Like I'm starting to get traction with this pod, and that's dope. People liking it, and it's not based off of just like drama, beef. I'm not like making fun of nobody. I'm not. It's not on a negative tip. It's all positive stuff, and I love that. But just that mindset of I don't want to feel like I'm trapped my whole life, and I limited myself my whole life. And that's why, like on the thumbnail, the title of the show is Uncomfortably Free. I know personally to get there, it's not easy. And I'm going to have to get uncomfortable and make certain sacrifices and take certain chances to attain what I want to attain. And I'm willing to do that because I know, like, if you want to achieve a big goal, like, it ain't going to be easy. You're going to have to be willing to do certain things that are uncomfortable. Like when I played basketball back in the day, like it wasn't easy to get better. It took reps, me getting up shots, me staying in the weight room, me working on my conditioning, me, having to wait my turn. Like all of that played a factor in me getting better. It didn't happen overnight. And I feel like back in those days, like those slaves who worked in the field and who constantly were trying to figure out, okay, how can I be free? This is my situation and it sucked. And I don't want this to be life. I am going to figure out a way strategically to be free. And you had a lot of slaves, and shout out to Harriet Tubman, who led a lot of slaves to freedom. They didn't accept that reality as that's it. All I am is a slave. I'll never be more. I'll just be comfortable. And, I'll grow to love my master, love my plantation, love the fact that they feed me. Like, nah. Like, I salute the people who worked in the field and said, this ain't it. This ain't where I want to live. This ain't where I want to raise a family. I don't want my kids to see this as an example of life. I'm going to figure out a way to get up out of here. I'm going to stay in this field. I'm going to stay uncomfortable because we're this deep, but it's actually being in the house and being comfortable is harder to escape and break away if you in the house and you are comfortable opposed to you in the field and you struggling. Because at least in the field, you outside already. So when it's time to go, hey man, I ain't gonna miss no cozy bed and miss kissing the master's feet. I don't even like dude. I wish him the worst. So when it's time to go, I'm already outside. I'm already coming up with plans of where to go. And that's my mindset now with my job and trucking. Like I'm not trying to be a manager. And trust me, don't get my words mixed up. I am not calling people who work in management house Negroes. It's an analogy. But in terms of what I do, I want to make the most money I can, but I don't want to be a manager. I don't want to be a supervisor. I want to work hard and be a truck driver And hopefully, God willing, when this podcast takes off, telling them I'm ready to go, it will be easy. Like, it won't be no problem. And that's the goal I have. And like I said, that's not a goal that's just gonna come overnight. And even just somebody reaching out to me and seeing what I got going on and offering me an opportunity, like, that's the goal. But I'm cool with being uncomfortable, getting up at 4:20 every day and making sure I'm busting my ass and embracing that until something good comes, opposed to just giving up hope and just saying, oh, this is where I'll be the rest of my life. I'm gonna just be comfortable here. Like, nah, I've never been like that. Even when I played ball and I had to be on the bench and I felt like I wasn't getting my just due, like, it was uncomfortable, but I never got comfortable being on the bench. That was never comfortable for me. I never took pleasure in it. I always wanted to, what I'm saying, to progress. So I got up shots, got up in the weight room. I made myself uncomfortable in that position because I know where I wanted to get to. And that's the same thing what I'm trying to do now with this pod and my job. Like, in terms of my Black History Month, I want to say salute to those slaves who worked in those fields and escaped and said that this life is not for me, I want better. And figured it out, man, made the journey and got their freedom. Like, I'm pretty sure even when they got to freedom, life wasn't easy. Like, they had to start from basically with nothing. Like, a lot of slaves back in the day didn't want to escape because they didn't have anything on the other side. What is freedom? I don't have nothing. Like, this master feeds me. I have a place to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I got a little lady here, man. I ain't about to give all this up. Like, nah. But it was certain slaves who like, man, skip that. This is not life. I want to be free. I want to be my own person. Like, it is not life for me to be owned by somebody. Like, I have worth. I have a standard. And I want more than this. And that's my mentality right now. Like I said, if God's plan for me is to work at Performance for 30 years, if God came to me in a dream and told me that, hey, I'm on board, it is what it is. But I haven't had that dream yet. And I have my own dreams of just wanting to do more. Wanting to get to a certain lifestyle where I just feel free at the end of the day. But yeah, shout out to those slaves, man, who had that mindset and was able to reach freedom. I think that's a beautiful thing, man. And it's just inspiring for those people to be in that condition and take that chance, facing death, facing torture, and still making it to freedom. And Harriet Tubman was so beastie. She got people to freedom and would go back, which was crazy to me. She'd go back and get more people. So, man, shout out to her. Man, shout out to all the runaways, man. That's what I want to say this episode is for, man. All them slaves who had that runaway mentality. Because that's the mentality I have to this day. Like, just run away. Wanting to get to a better place at the end of the day. That's what I would equate it to. But, yeah, man, shout out to all them ancestors, man, who had to go through what they went through to be able to get us to where we need to be. So, yeah, man, that's it. I love y'all. I'm going to look at this. Hopefully, it's pretty cool, man. And I got a big interview Saturday. So, if this turns out pretty good, man, I'm going to use this setup for the interview. Dope individual coming through. Legend in the city. Division I cat. I ain't going to say no more because I don't want to give it away, but I'm excited for it, man. So y'all tune in with me, man. Keep me in your prayers, man. Keep tapping in with the show, man. Like, share, and subscribing, man. It all helps at the end of the day. Like I told y'all where I want to get with this pod. So, y'all tapping in with me and supporting me, man, is only going to help me get further in life just with the pod, man. So I love y'all. Y'all take it easy.